Welcome back to the video. My name is Harold. Today is Wednesday, March 25th, and in today's video, I'm just going to be going over the trade that I took today. It was a win for $126, 5 contracts traded, and a total of 5.25 points captured. We were up about $525 at one point, and we ended up realizing only $131. So, I think the main thing I want to talk about right now is that I actually scaled down from using 1 mini to 5 micros. And this is because losses are unavoidable, and these days I've been going on more losing streaks than winning streaks, so I need to be able to stop myself or stop my account from bleeding so much. For now, my solution was to just decrease my size, trade 5 micros, and this pretty much helps me. It gives me more opportunities to trade. I don't really think about drawdown too much when I trade, but it does give me more opportunities. If my original risk was around $400 to $500 per trade, that only meant I only have a drawdown of about 4 trades, 4 to 5 trades, and if I lose that, the account is blown. In a performance state of mind, that's pretty tough. That's a decent amount of pressure, and a 4 to 5 day loss streak is very, very normal. Like, that's possible. It probably won't happen, but it's possible. So at least switching over to the 5 micros, now I'm able to take like around 10 losses in a row. No, about 8 losses, maybe even 9, 10 losses in a row, and my account will be blown then. So that's a lot more trades that I could take, and it just helps me take my mind off just losing. But the conclusion I came to was just that I was thinking about what Propfirms are good at, like what the pro of using a Propfirm is, and it's its scalability. It's not that powerful on its own, one account, but it's very, very, very powerful with multiple accounts, right? Being able to copy trade, sync those accounts, that's what makes Propfirm trading super powerful and really leveraged. It's not being able to make a lot of money at once while risking a lot at once. That is not why. Because now, if I'm thinking about the future and I'm trading 5, 10 accounts at once, do I really want to be trading a mini and maybe go on a tilt streak and blow all those accounts that fast? No, I would rather be trading micros, give myself a lot of opportunities to be able to trade. And since you're able to scale and copy, the profits will compound on its own anyway. So just getting into the day, my plan was pretty simple. Yesterday we saw price struggle to break this level, and eventually end of day we broke it. Overnight we saw price hold this level, then create higher lows and attempt to break this high, which we pretty much failed every time. So coming into the day, my plan was simple. It revolved around this 66.35 level right here, which was a previous day value area high as well as a weekly value area low. I was not willing to take a trade up here, as I don't take a trade without any value areas. So the only place I was willing to take a trade was here. If price came down, I was willing to assess if we would break or if we would reverse. And that's exactly what happened. We ended up reversing. So coming into the day, initially we topped out at the highs again. We broke above the recent highs, which was around 66.82. We failed the breakout and we broke down. This was actually a good trade. Like, the confirmations that I usually use for a reversal were here as well, but I was just trying to remain patient because this is not part of my plan, right? So remaining patient, we're breaking down here, we're flipping from green to red, and on that note, I'm thinking, okay, we're most likely gonna be able to see our level. Let's get ready to take a trade. It might be possible. So we come down, We bounce, we go to about the halfway mark of our TP, and we get stopped out. There were a couple problems with this trade. On a technical note, I knew that this level right here should have been my target. I set my target up here just because I wanted to let the trade run, but analyzing my data, especially after today, I've counted how many trades I've let myself lose about 1 to 2 hours worth of profits. And it was about 7 to 8, meaning in the past month and a half, I've pretty much just given back $2,100. It was each trade was on average around 3 to 400 per hour. So I gave back around $2,100, and that's a lot of money for a month, right? So I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be setting these targets so high anymore, especially on the reversals, especially when we're counter trend. Like, there's no need for me to set reversals all the way back to the high a day. Just do it at the next point of resistance and take my profits there and scale out. And if I took an A, I consider this an A plus trade, like in terms of execution. If I took an A plus trade, then I can take another one when I'm given the opportunity to take one again, right? There's no need to try to capture the whole move on the first trade or the second trade. But my break-even level was 66.51. So if price was willing to break this level and hold, I was willing to move my stop to break even. So my stop was originally at 66.31. I moved it to break even to 66.41. And once we expanded, so this candle right here, we expanded above the highs, I moved my stop right under 66.49, right here, this red candle. And I was just trailing the stop. I was trailing the play structurally. We ended up getting stopped out on high volatility. But if we just took our profits at the 60s, then none of this would have been a problem. So that is kind of like the lesson that I learned today. And just hopping quickly into the footprint chart, this is where our entry was. So I entered because we got an increase in volume here. And this was a break of the current day lows, which was around like 66.40. So this price broke the current day lows on increase in volume, decent selling pressure. And if price was able to break this level and hold to the downside, I was most likely going to take shorts. But we increased in volume here, but we were unable to follow through. And then selling right here, selling got exhausted on these levels. And we ended up bouncing. So it was an increase in volume, and we got a shift in delta from negative delta to positive delta, closing back above the key level that we were watching. I took my entry at this zone right here, and my stop was around right here. And as you guys know, I was stopped out of this trade. So that is it for the day. I'm switching up a little bit of my take profit strategy. So before I used to pretty much just like find closer recent highs and then base it off like almost a subjective point of view, I would say. Like even looking at this chart over here, I determined that this was our target because this was a point of inflection, right? Like this was a level that was broken initially, that was the current day low. But sometimes this gets very subjective. Like, what about this level? What about this level? What about this level? Because there is just a good amount of nuance, and I already use volume profiles, this is kind of how I decided I want to take my profits from now on, and it's at these high volume nodes. So my next point of interest, or my target, will be the high volume nodes. If it was to the downside, then I probably would have taken it right over here. And because we took the trade right over here, I should have looked to take my profits right over here, which was the earliest point of this area was 66.59. So it aligns exactly with the level that we were looking at, 66.60. So that's how I'm going to be taking my profits from now on, as well as just scaling down and taking things slow. You know, I was one trade away from being able to take a payout, and it's not like I've blown this account, but I feel like I've taken a lot of steps backward this week. And definitely the war does not help with Trump's tweets. It does not help. But I'm still just trying to figure this game out. Still just trying to figure out what works best for me. And I think that as time goes on and as I gain more experience, I will definitely know more and more of how I like to trade. I've figured out most of it, but there are just the little things that need more touch. At the same time, I just need more experience. I need more experience saying no to things, being more patient, just being able to wait for the right opportunities, because when I do, that is when I take my best trades. So that is it for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.